This place got a new face, killing Joe's face. Got a Joe thing, chilling in a new fade. Blue space in a new place, what did he say? He done tic-tac, feeling like a true play. Step back and I never say no. I was winning over there, now I'm spinning out of flow. Got a feeling in the air, but I'm feeling kinda low. Got a ceiling over here, and I think it's gonna blow. Hey, this place got a new face, killing Joe's face.
I can bump my elbow. What is good, everybody? I just got done with my little delivery stuff. I came over here, got set up, so I could ask you, what you watching? What's good, everybody? It's Monday. It's Monday day. Monday day. So, first off, let me stop and say thank y'all. Thank y'all sincerely for all the growth in these past, I'll go with 2 weeks to this channel, because I don't know what happened, but it got hot in my packaging. Yeah. It's a good thing I can reach everywhere on my back. I'm my own back scratcher. Back scratcher. Alright. Yo, so excited to get back in this bad boy, start up a new week. How y'all doing? What you doing? I'm Aquarian OG, and you should get to know me. Sorry, I'm a little excited if I'm talking too much. I'm babbling, blah, 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 blah. But hey, it's good to be here. We got a video that was brought to me by one of our watchers. I usually call the community on my live stream Roughnecks, so we'll go with one of the Roughnecks because we all rough around the edges. That's exactly why I say that. America compared why other countries treat their people so much better. And this one, I think the subtitle was labor laws, which is a really hot topic going on around here. So without further ado, and a whole lot more talking from me, if you haven't liked and subscribed or got in one of the conversations in the stuff down below, what you waiting for? I'm chilling. Hey, I'm in a good mood today. Like, yo, y'all got a brother smiling like I just got some new candy and ain't nobody else in the neighborhood got it. Yo, it's a good ass feeling. I got to tell you. Oh, let me run this idea by you. Since we starting out with a America Compared video, I had the idea before this video was brought up to me. I think it was in the America Messed You Up 2 video, part 2. I think the name one was Irene or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go back and look. But yeah, I had the idea in my head that I was gonna do the what other countries. Since there were so many countries that showed up for them videos, I'm like, well, let's talk to the other countries. Let's see what y'all think about Americans. I'll explain a little bit if I can, if it makes sense. You know, if I there's some stuff that I didn't even know about. I was like, whoa, yeah, we do that. Because I've seen some of the videos before, you know, like not the ones we're gonna watch, but I've seen videos like that before. But yeah. So since we got our brothers and sisters up to the north, we're gonna start with Canada in that series of what other countries think of America. So you got a country you want, you can holler it in the comments. So far, I was making a list from the comments on the other 2 videos. France, Canada, Germany, UK, Portugal, Austria, Australia. Mexico wasn't on that list, but I know Mexico pretty closely. Japan wasn't on that list yet, but that's another interesting one. Singapore came up, and Philippines. I mean, like, they're right there. So that's the list that I got so far. So if y'all want to add more list or you found a video, let me know, because we will watch it and see what's going on. But in the meantime and in between time, like, subscribe. We're going to get this started. I know it's going to be something crazy. So in the words of Joker, here we go.
I'm going
Hit
to say
second thought
something that
up,
will
give them a
probably
sub.
offend many of my viewers. Let me preface this by saying that I, as an American, include myself in the following statement. Americans are quite possibly the most willfully ignorant people on the face of the planet. We have access to the sum total of all human knowledge, yet our understanding of the world rarely extends beyond our own country. And
Damn,
even
that's
then,
true.
the majority of Americans believe in a vision of the country that does not actually exist. It's not that
Well-
we're stupid, we just tend to blindly accept that the US is the greatest place on Earth, and therefore don't see any reason to educate ourselves about the realities of the rest of the world. In this episode, we're going to pull back the curtain on how America actually compares to other countries, and consider why the richest country on Earth fails to treat its people with dignity and fairness. I'm going to provide a list of important topics, then for each item we'll compare the American experience with that of citizens from other nations. Hopefully by providing a side-by-side comparison, you'll be able to see the stark contrast between how most Americans see their country and how it really stacks up against the competition. To give you an idea of just how skewed the American perception of our
Alright,
country
let's
really
go.
is, let's start with a pretty shocking example. Compensation for
Amazon.
what are considered low-skilled jobs.
the inside of that
We'll take
place.
the quintessential American company, McDonald's. McDonald's is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue. It operates in over 100 countries and serves over 69 million customers every day. As of 2018, McDonald's was the second largest private employer, with 1.7 million employees, behind Walmart's 2.3 million. How many times have you heard someone refer to McDonald's jobs or workers in a derogatory manner? For some reason, people who
I almost hit the wrong keyboard. It was getting ready to hit my MIDI pad. Because I was working on music earlier. Yo. I didn't know Walmart and McDonald's was like neck and neck like that. I used to work at Burger King like way back in the day. Like, oh yeah. Somebody's going to say, hey, bing. Yeah, music. We do legit music. All right, back to subject. I hated that job. I did not like that job. The manager would just stand there and stare at me while I'm got these frozen burgers. I'm just putting them on this rack. There's like no skill involved in this thing at all. You look at I need such and such many. I'm bored as all hell just putting this there. I ain't even cooking. The funny is later on in life I became an actual chef, like school training, all that stuff. Man, let's get back to it. I got some stories from that side too.
who work at McDonald's are seen as inferior or lazy or have any number of other unfair and unkind assessments leveled at.
Yeah, why is that? Like, everybody at McDonald's ain't lazy. I know some really hard workers that came out of McDonald's and Burger King. All right.
them. This probably stems from the old notion of flipping burgers being a job anyone can perform. But the animosity towards low-wage workers has grown significantly in the past few decades. And in America, McDonald's workers really do suffer a low wage. As of 2020, the average crew member at McDonald's makes $9 per hour. The average
Sounds right.
McDonald's cashier makes $8 per hour. The
Sounds
federal
right.
minimum wage in the United States is $7.25, a
Damn.
rate which has not been raised in over
The federal minimum wage is $7.25. You can't even buy a school yearbook with that. $7.25 an hour, and then most likely it's part-time. Get the hell out of here. No one, see,
over a decade, and which should not be considered a
even call it.
reasonable wage for any position, considering the
Hell
fact
no.
that a full-time minimum wage worker cannot afford to rent a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States, and can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment in over 95% of US counties. Now, the all-too-common response to data like this is something like, well, yeah, it's not a hard job, you should just find a better one. Here's a simple question. Should any job, regardless of technical skill required, pay workers so little that they cannot afford to rent even the smallest place to live?
that's a slap in the face. That's a damn slap in the face when you put it like, wow.
Live, not to mention other necessities like utilities, food, and medicine. Absolutely not. That is inhumane and cruel, especially coming from the second largest employer in the richest country on the planet. Other
I'm
notable
saying,
objections.
like, what is the problem here? Like, yo, on top of that, you 1 and 2, both places, both Walmart and McDonald's and fast food chains like that, treat the employees like shit. I worked at Walmart, hated that job too. And everybody knew it. Because I worked in a tire and lube when I was a mechanic. Yeah, I was a chef, I was a mechanic, I was a firefighter, I was a veterinary tech. I'm an artist now, musician and painter. It's fun. I like it. I like having different stuff to do. But damn, yeah. See, you know when you go to Walmart and the employees is looking disgruntled, they really are. I lost my position on purpose. I just didn't care. I got to the point where I was just like, this company is gone. They don't give a half a damn about me anyway, blah, 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 blah. You just know when a company don't give a damn about you. First thing they start doing is preaching that family shit at you. Knowing damn well as soon as something happens, you ain't family no more. You get evicted out the door. Don't let the handle hit you where the sun don't go. Whoa, whoa. I'm stupid.
Objections include McDonald's has to make a profit. If they pay their workers more, they might go out of business. First of all, if you can't pay your workers a fair wage, your company should not be in business. End of story. But again, McDonald's is not struggling to make ends meet. In 2019, McDonald's raked in $21 billion in revenue. But no matter how obvious the exploitation of low-wage workers, Americans are hell-bent on praising the very companies doing the exploiting. Take this article on Reader's Digest, for example. It's titled, "This is what McDonald's workers really get paid." You see that and think, oh, nice. Crap. Finally some news showing how poorly these workers are compensated. Then you scroll down and nope, they're actually praising McDonald's, saying things like, the food chain is also great for paying their workers fairly, and McDonald's is one of the highest paying fast food chains in the United States. This level of sycophancy is insane. If $8 or $9 an hour is some of the highest pay in the industry, that doesn't indicate that McDonald's is paying fairly. It indicates that a massive chunk of the population is being paid poverty wages. This is where taking an international perspective is so critical. If all you see is feel-good stories about how well McDonald's workers are paid, you'll never know how badly American workers are actually being treated.
Don't believe the hype. You ever see some of the stuff McDonald's workers have to go through on the sly?
Let's take the same company, the same position, but in a different country. Here's a McDonald's in Denmark.
Unruly.
The average McDonald's worker in Denmark, for doing the same low-skill job, makes $22 per hour. Well, hold on, you hear Reader's Digest scream from across the Atlantic. McDonald's workers in America in Denmark, for doing the same low-skill job, how well McDonald's workers are paid, you'll never know how badly American workers are actually being treated. Let's take the same company, the same position, but in a different country. Here's a McDonald's in Denmark. The average McDonald's worker in Denmark, for doing the same low-skill job, makes $22 per hour. Well, hold on, you hear Reader's Digest scream from across the Atlantic. McDonald's workers in America get paid vacation days after just a year of work. Wow,
after a year.
Enticing. In Denmark, when you're hired at McDonald's, not only are you making nearly 3 times what you would make in an American Mickey D's, you also instantly have access to a full year of paid family leave and a pension. No slaving away for a year.
A year? And we over here finding a year to get a week? Hold on. We gotta work a year before you get a week. You sign on that same week, you got a whole year. Well, damn.
To prove your value to the company. You're hired and you're treated fairly. Simple as that. McDonald's can afford to compensate all their workers like this, but they won't, because US laws allow them to exploit American workers to the point where they're basically slaves, earning the bare minimum to survive, paying all of their income and often going into debt just to pay rent, and having no way to escape this vicious.
Going into debt just to try to stay healthy. Going into debt just trying to get some education. Public education. Half-ass public education. Going into debt just trying to get the books to go get the education. They just want to charge like $150 a book if you lucky. They out there rabbit ass mine up in here.
vicious cycle because they're working such long hours. This is the case across all of America's low-wage jobs, of which there are many. The plight of the low-wage worker is incredibly dire, and all you have to do to understand that is look at how those same workers are treated in other wealthy countries. Let's move on to another topic, work-life balance. Fair wages are definitely part of this equation. If you're paid fairly, you don't need to work a second job, which will free up your time to be spent elsewhere. But we're going to focus on other metrics, specifically the length of the work week, vacation time, and parental leave. Let's start with the US. Most Americans would say that 40 hours per week is full-time. That seems to be the general consensus. But, in keeping with the country's exploitative labor practices, the hilariously named Fair Labor Standards Act does not actually define what qualifies as full-time. That's left up to the employer. Okay, why does this matter?
I argued this to HR at one of the jobs I worked. I actually argued this argument. I was like, how can y'all say that the full-time is 32 to 40 hours when it don't even say at all? And then if you own your own business, the government automatically says you got 20-something days off. Like, you really need to have the government watching your days off when you own your own business. It's like, if I'm going to be off, I'm going to be off. If I'm going to be off and I'm hurting my own business, then I know not to be off that day. I mean, that's common sense. But anyway, that's crazy, though. This stuff over here, dude, I'm not working over in the United States no more. I'm quit. I already ain't had a job in almost 3 years. I ain't worked a job in... It's been a little while. I ain't needed a job because I started a business. I actually have an LLC now, so... Dude, that's wild. Let's blow my mind some more.
Matter. Well, think of your past part-time jobs.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit. Let's get back to where all right. Yeah, I saw that Ooh, that's a picture and a half of 1,000 words. Where is it at? That looks like down south. It looks like down south. It's because of the buildings. Like maybe like Houston area or something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
Per week is full-time. That seems to be the general consensus. But, in keeping with the country's exploitative labor practices, the hilariously named Fair Labor Standards Act does not actually define what qualifies as full-time. That's left up to the employer. Okay, why does this matter? Well, think of your past part-time jobs. Did you get any benefits? Healthcare, 401k? Probably not. Most benefits, when they're offered at all, are reserved for full-time employees. Companies don't want to provide benefits because they affect their bottom line. America is all about cutting costs and provide.
You know, another thing they do too is they have you see if you're tax exempt for working for their company. I don't know what the deal with that is. It's got something to do with corporate and how they run their tax and all that stuff. But they will also they tell you that they're trying to save the company money. Hey, you want to save the company money? Here's the blah, 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 blah. See if you're tax exempt for yada, yada, yada. So then you got to fill all this race information. And it's like, what are you probing for? Like, they make you feel like you're supposed to be on Section 8, which is government assistance. I mean, I'm not on it, but it's degrading almost. It's like they're trying to save $1 off you by not paying you $1 and then having you save them tax money. You're like, what the heck? Nah. Go ahead with that. You ain't paying me, you paying somebody.
Providing workers with fair compensation is a cost. So, imagine you apply for a full-time job at Best Buy. You're offered the job, but they tell you they only have part-time positions, but they can give you almost full-time. They make it sound like they're doing you a favor, offering you more hours than normal part-time. But this is just another example of employers exploiting their workers.
I almost ended up
if you
working
work
there.
37 hours per week, you're essentially a full-time employee, but they don't have to provide you any sort of benefits. No health care, no vacation, nothing. This is a common practice. Companies will hire people, but keep them just below the threshold for full-time to avoid providing fair compensation. I've seen it happen. I used to work at Best Buy and they would do it all the time. And that's just the companies who are still trying to appear generous. Others will simply not offer benefits at all, or set their full-time positions at 50 or 60 hours per week. Sales positions are notorious for this. They'll often say, well, we expect you to work 40 hours, but all the top sellers are working 60 to 70 hours per week. This is coercion. They're trying to
believe the
pressure
hype.
you into working more hours to benefit them, and the compensation is never what they claim it will be. By allowing employers to define full-time work, American workers are held captive by corporations, forced to either work absurd hours to qualify for full-time benefits or find a second job to help cover the cost of things like health insurance. Both of these options lead to a terrible work-life balance, and as real wages have decreased and benefits have been offered less and less over the years, huge numbers of American workers have developed an unhealthy work-life balance. For example, in 1960, when workers had real bargaining power, only 20% of American women worked. Today, 70% of children live in households where both parents are working full-time. Where does all this lead? As of 2020, over 85% of American men and 66% of women work more than 40 hours per week. We work 137 more hours per year than Japanese workers.
That's crazy. We work harder than Japanese people, and Japanese people is known for being hard-ass workers. At least in my book anyway. I don't know about everybody else, but I've always heard Japanese was hard-working people. And hard people too. You ain't cracking it. Don't mess with them. Just leave them alone. They peaceful till you piss them off. I've seen some people get they comeuppance or bring down its out in the wild, you know. But yeah. This video's a trip. Some of it I knew from being a business owner and in tax law, but some of them, this is a trip.
260 more than the British, and 400 children live in households where both parents...
Hold on. 260 more hours than the British. I'm leaving. I saw somebody in one of the comments said, come to UK. I'm on the way. Oh, I got to stop and see my two homies over in Wales, though. I got two close homies over in Wales. So, yeah. 260 hours to do what I want? What would I do with all that time? Have fun? Shoot more videos? I like what I do, but I would rather... yeah.
As real wages have decreased and benefits have been offered less and less over the years, huge numbers of American workers have developed an unhealthy work-life balance. For example, in 1960, when workers had real bargaining power, only 20% of American women worked. Today, 70% of children live in households where both parents are working full-time. Where does all this lead? As of 2020, over 85% of American men and 66% of women work more than 40 hours per week. We work 137 more hours per year than Japanese workers, 260 more than the British, and 499 more hours per year than the French. Why do other countries have such a better balance? Because many of them have laws that cap the...
No wonder they call French the land of love. You got extra free time. You got 500 hours of free time. And I'm married too. Hell yeah.
Length of the full-time work week. Companies are required to pay their workers fairly and allow enough time off for employees to maintain a healthy work-life balance. That's not the case in the U.S. Vacation time is a similar story. Whereas many other countries mandate that employers provide paid vacation and sick days, the U.S. does not. In every industrialized nation, workers get more paid vacation days and holidays than in the U.S. Here's a depressing graph to illustrate just how poorly we treat our workers. France 31, Spain 34, Austria 38, America 0. 0.
I feel like Denzel right now. You motherfuckers. Damn.
0 paid vacation days, 0 paid holidays. And remember, these are the mandated figures. Every Austrian worker gets a minimum of 38 paid days off per year, even in the worst...
Austria, you in the running too. Where am I going? I'm gonna be out of here like Waldo. I'm gonna be a black Waldo. I'm gonna put on red and white stripes. I'm gonna get the hat to match.
Possible employment
And
situation,
I'm out.
they'd still get 38 paid days off.
That
In the
sound like a
US,
dream to me.
many workers are lucky to get Christmas or Thanksgiving off at all, and the odds that it's a paid holiday,
or a weekend.
next to zero. Let's move on to our final comparison, paid parental leave. Many
here we
Americans
go.
aren't even aware this is a thing, so let me explain. When an employee of a company has a child, sometimes they're offered parental leave, a period of time where they can stay home from work to bond with and take care of their new baby. This greatly benefits the employee, the child, and in the long run, the company, because the employee will be happier, less stressed, and more loyal to the company. Of course, offering paid parental leave doesn't benefit corporations in the short term. And if there's one thing that encapsulates the American business philosophy, it's short-term gains over all else. So it won't
Greed.
surprise you to learn that the US is the only industrialized nation on the planet that does not mandate some amount of paid parental leave. This may be shocking to my American viewers because being able to get paid to spend time with your newborn child sounds like an impossible dream in our dystopian labor market. And
Wonder why we got problems in the streets now. Wonder why, America. Wonder why. You know who catches blames? All the dads that got to go to work. You know, because they always, deadbeat dad, deadbeat dad, deadbeat dad, all over the place. But you know what? The whole, how do I word this? Everybody a damn deadbeat. If you're going to base it on that. Dude. We are getting straight. Man. And they talk about slavery is abolished.
honestly, it probably is impossible in our current America. We're so invested in self-destructive capitalism that even suggesting the possibility of paid parental leave would put US politicians out of a job. That's not the case in the rest of the industrialized world. In fact, every other OECD nation,
that all
and
the
even
time.
in many third world countries, new parents are guaranteed at least several weeks of leave. Let's take a look at a few of them. Ethiopia, a country with an annual gross
Oh, wait. They always talk about how starving and yada, yada, yada Ethiopia is. They don't look too hungry to me. They look like normal people that are doing what they normally do. I mean, yeah, there is some starving and whatever, but it ain't like they trying to make it on the news. Yeah. Even Ethiopia is doing better than us. And we call them third world or whatever. Inferior or whatever. Even the freaking math system here is called imperial. What the hell? This is some bullshit.
national income of under $900 per person offers 90 days of leave with 100% pay. Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%.
Hold on. He did what the hell? Sally Struthers ain't raised that much money for them to have 100% days paid off. 100%. 100%. A henny hen? Shh. I gotta hear that again.
Let's take a look at a few
He said
of them.
100%. He said
Ethiopia,
100, right?
a country with an annual gross national income of under $900 per person, offers 90 days of leave with 100% pay.
He said 100. I'll be goddamn. And we call it them poor. We call them poor? Who in the hell you calling poor? They looking at us like, hey, you had to work for all that, huh? You didn't get to go and you can't take care of your kids. You got a baby at home? They ain't give you no time off, player. You need to leave. He said 100% pay leave. 100. A henny hen. 100. 100 on it. We can't even admit it. Matter of fact, they won't even hire you if they find out that you're pregnant. Because they automatically, liability. Man.
Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%. Afghanistan, 90 days. Denmark, 52 weeks. Norway, 56 weeks. France, 16 weeks at 100% pay for your first child, up to 26 weeks for your third, on top of 104 unpaid weeks.
Motherfucker. What do you say? The best for last? What the hell's going on here? We've been getting so played. This shit's starting to get funny now. What the hell? You taunting us. He taunting us. The speaker is taunting. He put this stuff in this order to taunt us. I see what you did. Oh, yeah, he American, too. Yeah, never mind. Okay. All right, player, you did that for impact. You got the impact. You got the impact. Son of a bitch. How far is Madagascar from here? What they got over there that's poisonous? I ain't trying to accidentally eat something. I'm leaving. I'm getting the hell up out of here. Hey, matter of fact, let me back up to Norway because that was looking like some pretty sweet area to explore. Norway's always had my attention too. That's why I thought they were in the what is that called? NATO. I always thought them and Sweden was in NATO. Oh, I'd like to check out Sweden too. Ooh. I want to go food. I'm a big foodie. I like trying different food. I like if I can get food from the land, man. All that to do. What would I do
90
with all that
days.
time?
Denmark, 52 weeks. Norway,
Move the thing out the way.
56 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, go back. I'll look at it later.
France,
I like what
16
Norway was
weeks at
looking
100% pay for your first child, up to 26 weeks for your third,
Actually,
on top of
I have a cousin that lives in France.
104
She teaches
unpaid
English.
weeks. Lithuania,
That's
52 weeks at 100%,
No wonder she ain't
plus
come
an
back.
additional 52
ain't
weeks
told
at
us.
80%. Again, the United States does not mandate a single day of paid
We
parental
ain't got
leave, even for the
shit.
mother, and the father is
man,
never
threw my
considered.
headphones off my
This
head off
means
of
that
this one.
workers in
The hell?
America have to choose to either pay the exorbitant cost of
Man.
childcare or have one parent quit their job in order to take care of the
Been there. Hold the phone. This, like, you know. All right.
child. These are both bad options, which often lead to economic precarity. But that doesn't matter to the companies employing American workers. Profit is the only thing that matters. Hopefully, seeing these labor practices compared like this has made it clear that not only is the US not living up to its claim to being the greatest nation on earth, but also that it consistently ranks poorly and often dead last in terms of labor metrics. Why is it that the wealthiest, most powerful nation on earth can't pay their workers a fair wage, or provide healthcare, vacation time, or paid parental leave? You should
I'll tell you why. Because we got them old boomer era. What was they born in the hole when all of this stuff was the thing to be doing back in the 50s and 60s and yada, yada, yada. They hold on to them old ways that they was taught. So now we stuck in these old ways because they old asses is still in control, getting voted into these old ass offices. We need to change things. We need to get this shit fixed. That's crazy. We get treated like... No wonder Chef Ramsay be calling mofos mules. Look, I'll call us a mule too.
realize by now that it's not that they can't, it's that they won't. Everything in America is beholden to the almighty dollar. Profit is the only motivator.
Hate money
If an action
sometimes.
does not
Like,
produce a greater profit, it will not be considered. Over the last few decades, Americans have watched as our livelihoods, our quality of life, and our dignity have all
that's the
been stripped
problem.
away by
Watched.
those who already make obscene amounts of money. Those in power say we're all in this together, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The ultra-wealthy and the world's largest corporations rely on Americans remaining ignorant. They rely on us accepting the lie that America is the greatest nation on earth, that it couldn't possibly get any better. All you have to do to shatter that lie is to take a look around the
do still
world.
say that.
Other nations take care of their citizens. Even impoverished nations, or nations that we've bombed into oblivion, take better care of their people than the US does. American workers need to relearn the language of class struggle and work together to break the wheel of the capitalist machine. If we want to claim that the United States is the greatest place on earth, we need to make it that way. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this kind of content is supported by my patrons on Patreon. This type of video, while
his
very
research.
important, is something that sponsors won't touch. In order to pay the bills and keep this channel running, I rely on AdSense revenue, sponsors, and donations from generous viewers. By producing explicitly anti-capitalist content, I lose out on both sponsors and AdSense. If you enjoy the kind of videos I'm producing and you're able to chip in even $1 a month, I would greatly appreciate the support. You can find my Patreon page and join our growing Discord server at patreon.com/secondthought. If you enjoyed this video, consider dropping.
Alright. I knew this was gonna be a doozy, but damn. I'm fucking leaving this country. This is some bullshit. All these body aches and freaking injuries. Yeah, both of my shoulders is toe up from throwing freaking plastic bins in a damn plastic factory making freaking deodorant bottles. The little plastic oval deodorant bottles that you rub under your arms. I can't stand the sight of them damn things. Freaking knees and hips is messed up. And ankles from cooking and bending and stooping and low boys and all kind of blah, blah, blah for freaking 100 and something hours a week. Back is messed up from both said jobs. Not messed up till I have like, but you know, when you wake up in the morning, you be like, ooh, ooh. It'd take you about 5 minutes to take a breath. But, ooh. That could be age too, but the whole, yeah, that didn't help. Man, all the arguments back in the past, all the bullshit back in the past. Like, wow. And you don't realize back then, well, I realize now, but I didn't realize back then how much, because there was at one point I was working 3 jobs. Plastic, Burger King, and pizza delivery. And the pizza delivery was basically so I could make gas money to go to the other 2 jobs. So what the hell? I don't even know what the hell to say about this video. Other than you better start your own business and govern yourself. Learn the tax laws around here and be like these other cronies that don't work but living like, man, this is... Hey, who wants some new citizens? And me and the wife is going to be looking for a place to go because we tired of this shit. Yeah, buddy. Damn. For a hot second, I was just like talking my thoughts and forgot I was actually like recording these thoughts. What the hell? Oh, shit. This video got me all kind of discombobulated. All right. Wow. Next video is going to be, we're going to start the series of traveling around the world and seeing what the rest of the world thinks of America. I'm actually kind of curious to see what the hell is going on. I mean, I like a study of stuff about stuff abroad, but I'm kind of curious as to what thoughts that y'all have about us that is actually like true or we have the same thought. That's going to be a fun series. It's going to be a nice little thing. If you got your country that you want, if you found a video saying stuff that's actually, like if you watch the video and you see one and it's a good video, you know, saying like what you actually like, you know, it's real, you know, like genuine thoughts, you know, like if somebody you find, yeah, I'm having problems trying to get this out of my damn mouth. This video got me messed up. If you find one that says what you would say, then let me know. This video is a trip. I knew it was going to be a doozy. Hey, whoever shouted this out, thank you. Because this video right here, ooh, I'm going to circulate the hell out of this one. Wowza. I'm Aquarian OG. 2 flips got a dip and I'm owza. I didn't know how I was going to end that, so I had to get creative. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one and check back for that next video because I'm dropping that bad boy soon. I'm like really curious. This thing got good. This thing got good. Hey, y'all take care. Stay safe out there.